Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. My name is Nadir Ahmed. I'm with Continental Financial Services. Today's podcast, Dollar, Dirhams, and Our 2 Financial Cents. Our topic of the day is financial risks no expat should wake up to. And I'm absolutely delighted to have Ashok Shardana to share his sobering thoughts. And with that, I'd love to introduce Ashok. Ashok, thank you for joining us very much.
How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
Very well.
Ashok, I'm absolutely excited because, with my clients, I generally work with expats primarily.
Mm-hmm.
And you have been an expat for several years in the region.
Several decades.
Several decades. Exactly how many years?
I came to Dubai in 77, so that makes it almost 4.5 decades.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I imagine when you arrived here, you came with your family?
I came alone, and for the first 10 months, I was trying to find my way around.
Right.
And my wife, she joined me after 10 months.
That's wonderful. That's great. And never look back. That's great. I guess what everybody really would love to have you share is while you've been here for so long, and then being an absolute veteran of the insurance industry, what everybody's interested in hearing is, what were some of the inherent risks that expats face when you first started your career?
When I came to Dubai in 77, I just want to give you a background. Trade Center was the end of Dubai, and taxi fare used to be $1, shared taxi. And if you had, if you took an engaged taxi, that was you were the lone passenger. It was 3 dirhams, 5 dirhams if you were going across the bridge. I think that time when we used to sell the policies, Ashok, what happens when I go back? People were thinking in terms of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I also, when I came, it was maybe 2-3 years, I'd go back. Probably I'll go to the US or somewhere else or make some money and go back home. So every time we went in and spoke about insurance and the plans were for 15 years or 20 years, Ashok, what happens if I go back after 3 years? That was the biggest challenge that we had that time. And of course, all those clients are still here. We don't face that question anymore. Most of the time, I'll say. But the risk was still the same. How do I protect my family? I left India, I left my home country to earn some extra money. What if something happens to me? How do I protect my family? That was the risk then, and that is probably still the risk, same question.
Right. And yeah, absolutely. We run into this issue pretty consistently in the region, is that, how do we convince individuals that most financial planning is done over the long term?
Yeah.
Because the risks have a long duration.
Yeah.
That's great. So on that note, what would you say if there was one thing that you could change when you first arrived? What would that be? And it could be professionally, it could be a personal thing, but I'm sure our listeners would be really interested in knowing that.
One thing which, of course, hindsight is always 20/20. One thing which I could, if I could go back, I should have started Continental probably much sooner, and probably I should have offered higher value life insurance to my clients even then. Previously, we used to talk about $10,000 of life cover and $15,000. I wish I had the courage to offer higher sum insured even that time. However, saying that, I think everything has its own time, and we have evolved. The country has evolved. So, but yeah, if I could change one thing, that would be I should have started my insurance broking much sooner.
Much sooner, and I believe the point you were trying to make there was that as life goes on, our liabilities have a tendency to grow.
Yep.
Because our families grow, our businesses grow.
Absolutely.
And the opportunity or the window that we have when it comes to getting protection or cover is small. And so planning big and planning ahead makes all the difference.
Very true, Nadir.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people do not realize. When I got married to my wife, I didn't say I'd provide protection after 1 year, or I'd provide security to her after 3 years. Or I did not say that I will provide security if the inflation is under 2%, if the barrel of oil is under $80 a barrel. We have to provide security to our families, to our loved ones today. Tomorrow, maybe today. And now that I've been in this profession for a long time, and I have come across where people have delayed, come back to me after 3 or 4 months, 5 months. And when we've gone back, they were either uninsurable or the situations had changed so drastically that we could not insure them. So if I can go back to my clients and if somehow I can convince them and I can show them the value that they must do it today.
Right.
You know, they say insurance is bought with health and paid for with money. You may have all the money to pay the premiums, but you may not have the health. So don't procrastinate.
That's great. These are great words of wisdom from you, Ashok. Moving forward, I think what I'm interested in is finding out what was, the thing that absolutely drives you when it comes to providing service and solutions to your clients. What's the one thing you could say that absolutely drives you to do what you do?
I think now that's very simple. Let's not complicate. If you believe in what you offer to your clients, if you believe that you're offering the right solution to your clients, that's what gets me up every day. I'm going to meet my clients. I'm going to help them to secure their financial future. I'm going to help them to cover up some of their needs. And if I can provide those solutions to them to the best of my ability, for me, that's the biggest satisfaction I get when I wake up in the morning. What can I do for my clients? And the belief that you have in your solution.
Absolutely. I think that's a pretty strong general statement about life, because I think most of us believe that in order to be good at what we do, we have to be passionate.
Yeah.
And in order to be passionate, you have to really believe in what you do.
I don't even say you have to be passionate.
Yeah.
I think you have to be obsessed.
Okay.
That's the right.
Well, you certainly are, Ashok.
Absolutely.
I know that personally. Moving forward on the future for both protection and insurance, I'd like to know two things. One is, where do you see the challenges for expats and their families in the future whilst being in the region? And two, what has got you excited about some of the solutions that we offer in the future?
I think the challenges that we had 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and the challenges that we have now are the same. If a person is earning 50,000 dirhams a month, he has the same challenges versus a person who's earning $500,000. Except the person who's earning $500,000, his problems are bigger. He still wants to secure, he still wants to make sure that his business is properly looked after, the business can grow, and he has the same problems. But I think the problems are only bigger.
Right.
They're not different. They still love their family. It's not that a person who's earning more doesn't love his family as much as a person who's earning less. We all love our family. We all want to take care of our future. I want to make sure when I'm in my older years, I'm still not there. Am I financially secure? Have I properly looked after my family? Have I made provisions when they grow old, or if things don't go as per the plan? Have I made myself financially secure? Have I made my family financially secure?
Right.
The problems are the same then, the problems are the same now, except they've they become a little bigger.
Right. And this is what we're finding in doing, one-on-one analysis with our clients, is that I'm finding that the lives of individuals and organizations are becoming increasingly sophisticated and complicated.
Yeah.
And so as an advisor or as a consultant, in order to offer the absolute best solution or option for the client, is becoming increasingly comprehensive and understanding what their needs are. That's great, Ashok. I really appreciate your input. The last thing that I want to touch on, and again, I believe that we as advisors are ultimately fiduciaries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And we have a great responsibility for looking after our clients. That is our number one priority. With all your extensive experience, would you like to share one or two things, or one or two reasons why you believe it's absolutely necessary for an individual or an organization to work with a fiduciary or a professional like yourself?
One is all we have is trust.
Right.
Once violated, we have nothing. The clients are trusting us with their future. The clients are trusting us with their families. We have to make sure that we do not violate that trust.
I just wanted to note a couple of things that really, people need to understand why it makes sense for them to work with a professional.
Do you go to a doctor or do you go to a pharmacy?
Absolutely.
When you have a problem,
Right.
you go to a doctor. You don't go to a pharmacy and say, okay, give me any medicine. You need an advisor because he can guide you. He will be with you in the long run. He will be there when your situation changes. He will be there to guide you.
Right.
You cannot do it on your own. You're not an expert.
Yes.
You're an expert in your business. That's your domain. My domain is financial services. I can guide you best. So we have to work with financial advisors. Sometimes people say buy online. Yes, you can buy online. If you need a Panadol, you go to a pharmacy and buy a Panadol. But if you have a serious problem, you don't go to a pharmacy. You go to a hospital or a doctor.
Right.
You have to work with an advisor who knows his subject, who can guide you, not one solution, because your situation will continue to change during your lifetime, and your advisor is there to guide you. You have to work with an advisor.
That's great advice coming from a veteran, and I'd like to end that by thanking Ashok for joining us today. Absolutely delight.
Thank you very much, Nadir.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.